Good morning, Amber, Jade, and Indigo. Welcome to our reading lesson. Yesterday you watched the video on George and the Dragon. Today we're going to continue with the story of George and the Dragon. So what is our ally today? To memorize a story and draw a story map. Now the whole aim here is today you will re-watch that video, and by the end of that video you'll have a good memory of who the characters are in the story and all the different things that happen in the story, so that you can draw a story map. So let's begin our lesson, and as normal, let's first of all ensure that you are prepared to start your lesson. So do you have a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper or a book? And use the pause button when you need to. So stop the video whenever you need to pause, and then restart when you're ready to begin again. So let's move on. Every week we're going to have a sound. So this is below are the sounds, the sound for this week. An OW makes an O sound. OA makes an O sound as well when we put them together. And at the bottom, O with a gap in between and an E also make an O sound. Now we call that a split digraph. And in a minute you'll know why, because you'll see the word that comes up. So I can think of an OW word, and that's throw. Throw. So can you say that word? Throw. And we've got O, the O sound at the end, OW. OA goes with coat. Coat. C-O-A-T. Coat. So we've got a letter at the beginning and a letter at the end, a C and a T. And finally, we've got our digraph. And that will be close. Close. So there you can see CL at the beginning and a letter S between the O and the E. So let's practice those three words. Throw, throw, coat, coat, close, close. So let's practice these on the next page. So here are our sounds. They all make the same sound, even though the letters are not all the same. So O is the sound of the week. So remember, we've got throw, throw, coat, and close. So close is the split digraph because the S splits the O and the E. Now, can you think of, or can you listen to the word I say and then repeat it? Are you ready? Boat. Boat. So it's the middle letters, O and A, purple. And we've got our second word, which will be stone. Stone. That's our split digraph. And our final word to go with OW. So we had throw. What will our new word be? Grow. Grow. So practice those 6 words. Throw, grow, coat, boat, close, stone. Those are the sounds of the week. So let's move on.
Once upon a time, there was a brave knight called George. George had lots of adventures as he travelled by horse across many lands. One day he came to a small village and met a man who lived in a cave next to the village. The hermit told the knight about the awful things that were happening there. A terrible dragon had come to live in the lake and attacked the village every day. The villagers didn't know what to do. First, they gave the dragon all their food. dragon just took the food and still attacked the village. So then the villagers gave the dragon all the animals from their farms. The dragon took all the animals, but continued to attack the villagers. So then they gave the dragon all their gold and jewels. The dragon took all their money, but still was not satisfied. The king sent his army to try and capture the dragon. But the dragon was too strong, and the knights of the army were too scared, and they ran away. With nothing left to give, the king could only think of one thing to help protect his people. He sent his only daughter, the princess, to the lake to wait for the dragon. When George heard this, he rode as fast as he could to the lake. Just then, the dragon jumped out from the lake and was going to eat the princess. George attacked the dragon. He fought very bravely, won the fight, and killed the dragon. George and the princess returned to the village, and everyone was very pleased that they would have no more problems with the dragon. Today, the story of George's bravery is remembered, and George is known as the patron saint of many countries.
Well, there you go. Now, I think you should have a really good memory of what's happened in this story, George and the Dragon. So, let's do a quick recap. Remember, these are the nouns that go with the story. There are some important words or vocabulary that you should be familiar with. So I'm sure you are familiar with the word knight now, because George was a knight. He rode a horse, and he went to a village to help them because a dragon was attacking them. He met a hermit in the cave, and the hermit told him about a dragon that lived in a lake. And he also told George that the villagers took the dragon food, animals, and gold, and that he still kept attacking the village. So the king sent his army, and that didn't work either. And finally, he sent the princess. So those words, which are nouns, are very important in the story. So remember them well, so you can use them in your storytelling. What's our task there? Well, this is the story. This is what it would look like if it was in writing. We're not doing it in writing. You're going to draw your story. So what is that going to look like? Well, first of all, you have this grid. There are 9 rectangles. And what you're going to do is, I've started it for you. So in grid number 1, or rectangle number 1, I've written the sentence. Once there was a brave knight called George. He met a hermit by a cave who lived close to a village. So you should be able to say that sentence and memorize it without reading it. So can you memorize that sentence? Can you say it, repeat it? Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but needs to be very similar. Now, in rectangle number 1, you need to draw a picture of the brave knight George. You need to draw a picture of the hermit and a picture of the village, as well as the hermit's cave. Let's go to rectangle number 2. I've highlighted the important words in each sentence. They're in red. A dragon lived nearby in a lake and kept attacking the village. Where did the dragon live? Can you memorize that sentence? So your task will be memorize that sentence. Can you repeat it without looking at it? Can you say it over and over again and still remember it? So in rectangle number 2, once you've finished rehearsing your sentence, draw some images or pictures to go with that sentence. A dragon lived nearby in a lake and kept attacking the village. And let's go to number 3. Once again, the important words are in red. The king sent food to the dragon. It did not work. I should have highlighted dragon actually. That should be in red as well. So, can you memorize that sentence? And also, can you draw images to go with that sentence? The king sent food to the dragon. It did not work. And then we look at the next row. In rectangle 4, the king sent, what did he send to the dragon? It did not work. After they sent food, what did they send next? So draw images to go with that sentence. Can you memorize that sentence? Can you practice it and say it without reading or looking at the sentence? Rectangle number 5, the king sent gold and what else did he send? To the dragon. It did not work. Once again, need some images to go with that sentence. Can you draw images for rectangle number 5? And number 6, only put the key word army. What did the army do? Where did the army go? And what happened when they went there? So draw some images to go with rectangle number 6. It's to do with the army. Now in the bottom row, I've put question mark 7, question mark 8, question mark 9, question mark. So what happened in number 7? What happened after the army went to deal with the dragon? So what happened in number 7? What did the king do next when the army failed? And then number 8, what happened by the lake? So you need to draw images for 7 and 8. And number 9, what happened at the end? How did this story end? Can you retell the story for 7, 8 and 9 in your own words? So draw images for each rectangle to go with whatever happened in that part of the story. So I'm looking forward to seeing your work when you finish. So take your time. Remember, try and use the story map to tell your story to yourself or tell it to someone else. So you're going to practice retelling the story. Without using words, you're going to memorize it. So let's see how you get on. So when you are ready, please email your work to yr3@grange.harrow.school.uk. Take care. Bye for now. Speak to you tomorrow.